Hello guys, how are you all doing? My name is Rob of Ro2R Review, and welcome back. So, it finally happened, you guys. The day has finally come that we knew was going to be upon us once the Nintendo Switch launched, and we all saw how freaking amazing it was, and then we saw how incredibly well it was selling, and the software was moving like crazy, and the games were so good, and all of these different things. And one of the things that we knew was probably going to happen was that the Switch was going to surpass the lifetime sales of the Nintendo Wii pretty darn soon. And here we are, just yesterday, reports are finally starting to come out that officially the Nintendo Switch in just under 11 months has actually surpassed the Wii U in lifetime sales. This is really crazy. It's both incredibly exciting and also a little bit bittersweet for myself as a huge fan of the Wii U. And so I just kind of wanted to discuss what this means, some of the numbers that are being reported, and just how I feel overall. So there are plenty of articles detailing what happened and the fact that the Switch has now outsold the Wii in less than its first year on the market. And I found a great article from GameSpot. I'm going to link that below, but also read a couple of excerpts that sort of breaks down some of, like I said, the hard numbers and what's going on here, as well as the sales of the Wii U and all of these different things. So quickly, here's kind of the update from GameSpot about the numbers and the Switch selling more than the Wii U. 12.13 million Switch units were sold during the 9 months ending December 31st, 2017, with 2.74 million sold during the hybrid console's debut last March. Overall, this means 14.87 million Switches had been sold by the end of December last year. As of October 31st, 2017, Wii U hardware sales stood at 13.56. Switch sales are now not too far off those of the GameCube, represent, which sold 21.74 million, but they're still far behind those of the ultra-successful Wii, which reached around 101.63 million units sold. So there we go, man. In simple math terms, the Wii sold just over 13.5 million units in its 4.5 years on the market as Nintendo's main home console, and the Switch in 11 months is just barely under 15 million sold. That is incredible. By any stretch of the imagination, that is fantastic. So definitely congrats to Nintendo and the Switch for selling 15 million units in its first calendar year. That is incredible and well worth it. The Switch is a damned fantastic machine. I think that we all know that. And the Wii U. I want to talk about the Wii U for a minute, you guys. Because every one of you who knows me and who's been following Ro2R Review for a while, you know that even to this day, even though it's not cool to do so anymore, I will still stand by the Wii U. It's a great machine. And that's why it's interesting to see this new climate where the Switch is doing so well, and it's cool to like the Switch because the Switch is a cool device. Admittedly, way cooler than the Wii U without question. I am not trying to deny that fact. But now it's like, because of that, it's now become cool to crap on the Wii U more than it even was when the Wii U was already around. And at that time, people were still crapping on it. And in many ways, for reasons that are legitimate. I mean, I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole of my thoughts on the Wii U. Like, I love the thing. It's a great quality machine, but it has its problems. Nintendo made mistakes. It didn't do everything right or the way it was supposed to. So I also kind of understand why it was not really a big success. There's just so much going on in that Wii U conversation that I've had many, many times in the past. It's funny, I actually started the channel when the Wii U was pretty new. That was kind of the time period in the console that got me motivated to start Ro2R Review. So I kind of associate the Wii U and that era of gaming with, like, the birth of Ro2R Review. So just kind of a little fun aside. But yeah, I have to say, it's not really as cool as people really think to just take pot shots at the Wii U. Like, we know the story of the Wii U. Everyone knows this story. Nintendo made mistakes, the system failed, the Switch is way better, it's selling way better, it outpaced it in 11 months. It did what the system did in its entire lifetime. It's a shame. It's one of those times that Nintendo messed up. They've messed up plenty of times. They mess up consistently even today. And guess what? They're going to mess up again in the future. Y'all better prepare yourselves, because Nintendo is not and will never be perfect. But right now, they're killing it. There's no doubt. I mean, Nintendo is doing, everything right. It's absolutely insane. So I know everyone wants to crap on the Wii U. I get it. It's a funny, jokey thing, and I definitely agree with the humor. But I mean, come on, man. The console was great, and I don't think that we should completely take all available opportunities to just crap on the Wii U and dog on it because the Switch is doing well. That's like a gimme. That's easy. There's nothing special or fancy or that makes anyone super clever or funny because they're making fun of the Wii U. We know the thing sucked. We know it didn't sell well, and the Switch is 1,000 times better. Anywho, let's bring this back to the Switch and discuss these sales and break them down a little bit more and what I think it means that it's sold better than the Wii U in the first year. it's tricky because I was kind of mentioning this a little bit ago as well. It is so impressive that the Switch sold 15 million units in its first year. I mean, that's like some of the best keeping pace with like the PS2 and the PS4. It's really impressive, and Nintendo deserves all the credit in the world. But here's the thing, people do want to start making this big deal and blow up the story in the headline, even what will be the title of this video, for example, about, oh, the Switch has outsold the Wii U in 1 year, it's amazing, and blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, like, because of everything I just said about the Wii U, and the jokey nature of it, and the huge failure and major mistakes that Nintendo made with it, while I think it's very impressive to say the Switch sold 15 million units in its first year, I don't really think it means anything to say that it's sold more than the Wii U in its first year. Like, you can acknowledge it, you can state it as a crazy, unique thing that we don't really ever see happen, but I kind of think that's where the conversation ends. Everyone wants to make this big deal like, oh, look at this, it's so insane. Like, I feel like the Nintendo Switch's benchmark is set by its own success, not by performing better than a failed machine. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's making sense to you guys or not, but I don't really think that the conversation has to go much deeper than that. I mean, I don't even know that I have that much more to say on it, which for a long-winded son of a gun like myself is definitely saying something. I don't think the conversation means that much. I don't think that people should spin it any more than what it is for just the blatant fact of, wow, the Switch is doing so great. Nintendo really picked themselves up off the dirt after getting their butts kicked with the Wii U and found a way to come out swinging and make a far superior product and become one of the most powerful and successful players in the industry again. And I kind of think that's really where the meat of the conversation lies, man. And you know, then we start to look into the future and we wonder, is this success going to continue for the Switch? And what is the Switch's endgame? Could it possibly reach those insane 101 million unit numbers like the Nintendo Wii? Stuff that I have discussed plenty of times, including very recently. A lot of other YouTubers have discussed this topic. People are talking about this on Twitter and on the larger video game websites and stuff all the time. You know, how many units will the Switch sell in its life? Will it outpace the Wii or the PS2 or the PS3 or the 360 or whatever? And it's an interesting conversation, but I feel like I've shared my opinion enough, you know, and I even recently discussed why I think 2018 will be a fantastic second year, but also that, you know, there's a chance it might not be a fantastic second year. And then what does 2019 have to do to pick up those pieces? And all these different things. So I'll just kind of wrap this up and kind of end on my ultimate feelings, sort of a recap of previous conversations I've had with you guys. I think 2018 will be a solid, strong year. I do not think it has a chance at being as amazing as 2017 was, that launch year for the Switch. Nintendo will not do that again in 2018. But we know of a couple of great games to expect. We know that the Labo is going to come out and make a lot of money for Nintendo. It's not going to be exciting to a lot of us as far as gameplay. But it's going to be a very successful product. We know that we're getting Yoshi and Kirby. Fire Emblem should be announced. We know that, you know, maybe Metroid or Pokemon makes it out this year. I think an Animal Crossing or a Pikmin could be coming. Smash Brothers might be launching later in the year. I mean, we just got the confirmation of the paid online service, so some big online games are probably going to be coming out around that time. To me, that sounds like a perfect time to launch a Smash Brothers. I think third parties will pick up. Hey, September is also right before Call of Duty, and I've been saying I think Call of Duty's coming this year, so you get the online service, you get Call of Duty, you get maybe Grand Theft Auto, and all these different things. Nintendo's going to have a solid 2018, and I think that the sales of the Switch are going to continue, you know, and very famously, Kimishima says they want to sell another 20 million units in 2018. They're not going to do that by not having some great games, first party and third party, available to do so, including the Labo, also probably moving units for families and kids. So much going on there. At the end of the day, the Switch is great. We all know it's great. It's a huge seller, and it's done what the Wii U couldn't. Much as I love the Wii U represent, it's been surpassed. It's old news. The Switch is doing everything that console couldn't. So it's just really great to see. So yeah, man, that's going to be it today. Really exciting to talk about so much awesome success for the Switch. As I said earlier, congrats to Nintendo. 15 million units in 1 year is stupendous. All the deserved success in the world. Also, I still love the Wii U. I'll say that one last time. I still love the Wii U, even though it was dumb and Nintendo screwed everything up. So, yeah, what do you guys think about these sales of the Switch? What do you think about it surpassing the Wii U within only 11 months? What do you think the future holds for the Switch 2018, 2019? Will the sales continue? Will they increase? Will they slow down? Will it turn out to be just a huge bomb after the first year? Whatever your opinions may be, I do want to hear you guys discuss the Switch and its sales and its future below. So, that is going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you, as always, so much for tuning in. This is Rob of Rule of Two Review, and I will catch you next time on another video.